Yo, what's up, everybody? Today we got some really interesting stuff. Crypto's taking a little bit of an ice shower. Some Ukrainian workers really coming through, and ESPN going direct. Direct? Direct? Like double, triple direct. Like there's nothing else but direct. We'll talk about that in a second. You know, today felt like it should have been Tuesday.
This is true. Literally, my whole family was like, I don't really understand what day it is right now because they're all thrown off by me being out. Like I'm thrown off by us being out.
I'm so thrown off. I'm so thrown off. Yesterday felt like a Monday, but it was a Thursday. Friday feels like Tuesday. You know, tomorrow's going to be totally weird. We're probably both going to show up for work. It's not going to happen.
Yes.
I really need to catch up on some sleep tomorrow.
Dude, like
my
really bad.
Keeps asking me questions like, feeling tired lately?
my Apple Watch just when I wake up says get back to sleep. That's all it says. It says get back to sleep on the front.
It overrides the alarm you set. You're like, we're not going to do that.
No, you're not allowed to do that.
We're not going to do that. Well, today is Friday the 13th for all you superstitious folks out there. Kyle, do you have any specific routines that you do on Friday the 13th?
Not I wake up like a normal dude.
Not a
like,
chance.
Here it comes. There's another day.
If we didn't put it in the show notes, we probably wouldn't even realize it. But I bet there are some really, really superstitious folks out there.
They got like salt going over their shoulders, and
I feel like baseball players are doing crazy things today. This very superstitious group. Are soccer folks like superstitious?
I mean, soccer fans are superstitious, but nobody plays soccer on Fridays, so we're good.
Okay.
It's like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Saturdays, Sundays. That's all you get. So you don't have to worry about Fridays. It's like we're good.
Oh my gosh. I have a couple fun announcements. Number one, we're about right after the show bouncing into the All Things Used Cars room to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of All Things Used Cars.
That's crazy. That's really on why I like the fact that I was still at a dealership when All Things Used Cars started kind of blew my mind this morning.
Oh, wow.
As I was getting ready for the day. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you are. So David Long has led this room for a year now. And in our opinion, some of the most insightful used car conversations with some of the smartest people in the industry, like for real. I would say this is the most insightful automotive room on the regular. There should be 1,000 people in it every week.
There should be, without a doubt.
200. We're going to get there. That's our goal this year. Let's get that sucker to 1,000. Also want to say congratulations to a Sodu investor, Patrick Abad, for having the #1 franchise automotive store in the state of Georgia last week.
For used car registrations. The only people that beat him were CarMaxes and Carvanas, and that's only because they're regionalized.
Yeah, and he still beats some of the CarMaxes if you look at the list.
Yep. Yeah.
So, you know, he's one of the people that, you know, we've known for a while, and that's the reason we asked him to be an investor in a Sodu. And he's one of those folks that at this point, still a lot of people are like, no, I think I've heard of him. And we were like, you're about to know. You're about to hear him. And so it's all good. What else do we have to talk about quick? Oh, there's a little website that we registered yesterday, and it's a sotucon.com. ASOTUCON.com. We just are not talking about it too much, but there may or may not be something there right now. Not a lot of details, but there may or may not be something at asotucon.com. We got to get in All Things Used Car Room today, so we got to keep the show like to 15 minutes or less.
We got to run. Let's get into the stuff. First of all, this isn't a long show note. I just got to, if you want to, type in Elon Musk Twitter in the Google machine, and it'll just kind of crack you up. I watched one thing about what he said yesterday, and even the commentator was like, you know, in this big joke of a thing. You know, it's just ridiculous.
What are you typing in?
What's that?
What do you type in?
Just type in Elon Musk Twitter and find out the most recent news
what's going on?
Elon has done. So it's always just a grand story.
I really think he's just kind of a 12-year-old at heart.
Yes, exactly. Hey, but look, if you're doing all that, you kind of have to be, right?
If you're going to get ready to take that beating, it's like 12-year-olds kind of got nothing to lose. You know what I mean? They're like, if you can say what you want, but I know what I want to do. And I'm going to do it and watch you all wiggle and squirm because you take it so seriously.
Yes.
But he takes it seriously too, which is the anomaly of Elon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Everything he does is like, this is for real.
It's driven by conviction. Gonna get us to Mars based on conviction. And 12-year-old likes to launch rockets in the air. It's a little bit of a double.
Yes.
So,
Kind of scary.
for sure, for sure. So cryptocurrency, we talk about a lot on the show, is taking an absolute polar plunge over the last few days. I mean, it's been going down, but so in cryptocurrency, the primary currencies are Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they are both worth less than 50% of their 12-month peak, probably closer to 60%. Bitcoin was $69,000 per Bitcoin in November, and now is 25,332 hit yesterday. Right now, it is hovering around 30,000. I just checked it. Ethereum is down from $4,800 to $1,700. It's rebounded a little to 2,000. Decentraland, which is like the metaverse thing, right? Follow this. It was like 80 cents a year ago. It spiked to $5, $6 when Facebook announced like, hey, we're going heavy. We're changing our name to Meta and all that. And now it's back down to 71 cents. Brian Armstrong, the founder of Coinbase, which you probably are familiar with, it's the biggest trading platform in cryptocurrency. He's lost 82% of his wealth.
Yeah, I was reading something where like the top 500 richest people in the world have lost like $50 trillion or some ridiculous number over the last 5 or 6 months, just because the majority of their wealth is in stocks and cryptocurrencies. Right. And so it's really wild I think we talked about this maybe earlier this week, just to see that everyone kind of thought that crypto was kind of this safe place for money, and recognizing now that it behaves almost exactly like the stock market, or it has been of recent.
Has been. It was probably a little premature. Well, not probably, definitely a little premature to say it may be a safe place. But look, this is all one big experiment.
Yep.
Right. We haven't been through many cycles. This is the first major impact that we're seeing. It's macroeconomic forces. But, thinking of how we joke about this, and there's a great, I think it's TurboTax or Intuit, where there's this probably like a 25-year-old dude, and he's looking at his phone and he's like, I'm a millionaire. And then he's like, I'm not a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire. Right. And so they were saying, like, in cryptocurrency, it's so volatile. Like, you'd be rich and poor all at once. And they approached it from a tax perspective. But the reality is, we've been talking about, accepting cryptocurrency at dealerships. We've been talking about this, the millennial generation saying that more than 50% of them have invested in cryptocurrency in the last year. Right. Which meant 90 days ago meant that they all likely had some substantial gains, right, that they were spending, right? Well, the flip is also relevant right now, is that all those, that maybe the spending cash was flying a little bit more, right? A little bit higher model of a car, a little bit more. It's not the case anymore.
Yeah, maybe becoming a little bit reserved. It's interesting because a lot of the energy was around all of the tax returns that we were going to see coming out, and that there were going to be higher tax returns, more tax returns, and that they were going to be stringed over a longer period of time. But what we're seeing is a balance of that and the way that markets are reacting to inflation. And so I'm hearing from some dealers that it's more of, there's not like a loss of traffic or like a downturn of engagement, but it's definitely still a leveling. It's not like the accelerant that we thought Q2 was going to have. I still think that there's still an accelerant when inventory comes back. And so I think that we're still going to see that lift at some point here in maybe Q3, maybe Q4, if for some reason inventory holds off that long. But there's definitely, like, we keep saying, fix the roof while the sun is shining, fix the roof while the sun is shining. Like, the volatility of the market means you cannot wait. You can't rest on your laurels for things like that.
Yeah, that window, I believe that window is closing. Yep. Last week on All Things Used Cars talked about, how to prepare for the coming hurricane warning, and look, for everyone who's paying attention, like, now is definitely the time. Like, we're getting toward the end of that window. And I mean, who knows for sure. But I mean, all the indicators are pointing to, maybe the long-standing ice cream party is over. You and I love some ice cream.
The ice cream party. That's great.
It felt like an ice cream party for a long time.
We should have put it like that. We should have put it like that way before this.
sprinkles, whipped cream. We got stuff. I mean, we're going
Come
on.
on, the whole bar.
And
It's like an ice cream
level.
sundae party.
Those Wegmans.
I don't think we're out of it yet. Like we're not trying to say doom and gloom. I think that there's still plenty to ride here. We're still seeing super high used car margins, super high used car pricing, and we still have an inventory issue. So we're just seeing a leveling, I think, and really being aware of your processes and your people to make sure that we don't have things happen to us like a trailing indicator on what has been happening in the stock market or to companies like Carvana or like Vroom, right? That there's an opportunity in our size to make sure that we've got all of those things kind of taken care of.
Yeah, and the supply issues are actually at this point going to be a significant asset.
Right
now.
Yep.
Because if right now, can you imagine if everyone had 120-day supply on their lot?
Yeah, it would
be
good.
It would be buyer's market all day.
Right.
Another story that we think is important to pay attention to, even though not directly correlated with automotive, but still pretty close. We'll tie it in, is the ESPN has announced that, or flipped their hand and showed us that they are really moving toward a direct consumer transition. That means not like cable, right? You're not going to be flipping through your cable stations and find ESPN. What a world we might live in. On a call with investors, CEO Bob Chapek discussed making an exclusively streaming property, noting that Disney, if you didn't know, Disney owns ESPN, would only do so when it's good for their shareholders. And he said, when we do, we will be, this is a quote, we will be able to fully go into ESPN DTC model, direct to consumer. It will be the ultimate fan offering that will appeal to super fans of sports. And he also noted the power of sports as Disney rolls out, it's an all ad supported streaming offering.
Oh, coming at it. Look, here's the thing. Every industry is dealing with this.
Yep.
Everybody's like, wait, direct to consumer? Yep. We've been talking about this in automotive for a hot minute. And it's like, that's happening in streaming and in video services as well. So, the heads up is, hey, look, franchise model is coming under attack in every aspect of business. And it's because of controlling customer journey, amount of ad dollars available, subscription-based services, and seeking multiples and seeking, recurring revenue, everything that we've been talking about. And so just a heads up that there are other forces outside of automotive talking about this model as well.
Without a doubt. And the ad spend, right? We know in automotive sports, the sports audience is a very relevant audience.
It is.
As Disney goes in further into the ad world, they understand, here's the takeaway, they understand the biggest asset is the attention. The attention of the consumer is the biggest asset. So they're saying, you know what, we're going to gather it all into one place and control the whole line. So whether that's...
Imagine ESPN has a DSP that you can buy ads directly on, similar to like an Amazon.
Oh, that's definitely
that's coming.
So, I mean, whether it's marketing, entertainment, or automotive, attention is what we need to focus on. Last article, we've been following this, but the German supplier, Lenoy, basically they own the wire harness plants in Ukraine. And we've been saying like, hey, these workers are legit. Even in the midst of a war, they're pumping out wiring harness and they're almost back to pre-pandemic levels. Here, this got me. Workers at Lenoy's Ukraine factories, fearful that their jobs might permanently have been lost, petitioned to come back to work, drawing up a plan on how to revive operations.
Let's go.
Right? They were like, this is important. We'll figure out a way to get it done. If that's not automotive, if that is not automotive,
you got snaps for that. Come on.
We don't know what is. Some articles are linked up in our show notes, especially in the podcast, but they have 7,000 employees in Ukraine. And this, in our opinion, is what a combined and compelling mission can accomplish. We need to do this together. And they did. And they are doing it together in the midst of a war. We don't have a lot of time today. We're heading into all things used car room. If anything, understand that things are changing, but you are in control of what's going to happen. Lean in this Friday. Get ready for a big weekend, because here we go. Get